Has anyone told you today that they believe in you? And that you, under 18, hold the key to solve one of the biggest problems we have in this world today? Because I do, and my team does. Seriously, you can save us adults from the chronic diseases half of us are dealing with. I will tell you how. So we're on a slightly ambitious mission to help the over 500 million children struggling with overweight and obesity across this globe. And last week, I met Emily and her mom. Emily is 12 years old, has been struggling with overweight since she was 7. Her dad's not around. Her mom makes long hours at the supermarket, comes home late, tired, stressed, and worried about the bills and about Emily. Because she doesn't have many friends, and most of her time she spends alone at her room gaming. Now let me ask you, what can you do to help Emily? What do you think that I can do as a pediatrician? Of course, I could pull out the growth chart and tell her, Emily, your BMI, your weight for height, is that red dot, and it should be in the green zone. It's not healthy. But how do you think Emily might feel? Probably just like that red dot, not in the normal range. Just how she feels every day at school. And I could tell her, here's a list of what you should eat, and join a sports club. But Emily will think, sports? I'm not good at that. And what if they bully me? And what about if I have to change in the locker room? And her mom thinks, how do I afford this? And who will take her when I'm at work? I'm such a bad mom. And they will walk out feeling unseen and probably will not come back to tell me that it didn't work. So let's pause. If your mom asks you to do the dishes, be honest. How many of you jump up to fill the dishwasher? Or your dad asks you to do your homework? Most of us resist being told what to do. We don't want to be controlled or judged. We need our own motivation to change our behavior, right? And for Emily and her mom, it's the same. And guess what? Science agrees. People don't change their lifestyle just based on advice alone. So that's not the solution. But then, what is the solution? And why, after all this attention for childhood obesity, the numbers keep climbing? Because it's not just about eating less and moving more. There's so many factors involved. Our mental health, genetics, financial situation, unhealthy, tempting food on every corner of the street. So in my last TED Talk, I called it a wicked problem. Complicated, hard to solve, no quick fix. And I said, we need a whole village. And it's true. But it's so overwhelming. And people think, where do we even begin? But it's 9 years since that talk. And my team and I, we have seen over 1,000 families just like Emily's, all with their unique story, their unique challenges. So we've learned, because we listened. And we asked them what they truly need. And we gathered the best scientific insight and we put it into practice. So I'm here today to share a solution that makes this wicked problem ridiculously easy. And we call it Your Coach Next Door. And it works. And it boils down to just 3 steps. And the first step is Bob. One person per city who builds a network of support for families. People excited to help with mental health, financial issues, sport activities. And every part of this network knows its own role. And together, they create a positive environment for kids like Emily. So now we have this network in place. And Bob is keeping it growing and working like a well-oiled machine. The real impact begins with step 2. A well-trained coach. One person per family. We call her Jessica. And Jessica helps families to get the support for families from the network, from Bob. And she helps them change the lifestyle. But here's where it gets tricky, because professionals and people in general have a strong tendency to jump in with advice. Do this, do that, they want to fix. We call this the repair reflex. But it's essential that Jessica gets to know them first. Who are they? How do they live? What are their daily struggles? Their strengths? Their motivation? What's driving them? What are their dreams? So Jessica's job is to listen, to connect, to be curious, but truly curious and compassionate and non-judgmental, and create a space where Emily and her mom feel seen and open to change. Because when Emily is overeating late at night, just telling her not to eat junk food will not help. We have to address her mental health first, maybe with some help from Bob's network. So now Jessica understands these daily struggles. She can start to set small, achievable goals. And we start with success guaranteed steps. So Emily will feel, yes, I can do this. Like walking 15 minutes 3 times a week. And if things don't go perfectly, that's okay. So we prepare families, but also Jessica, for setbacks, so they don't give up when life gets tough. 3 months in, Emily feels less depressed. She joins a friend for dance classes, and a social worker from Bob's network helps mom to apply for financial support. And we train professionals like Jessica just in 4 days. How to help, how to listen, and how to uncover and use the motivation of Emily and her mom. We call that motivational interviewing. So the final piece of the puzzle, step 3, is a smart online system just to keep everything easy and organized. So Emily and her mom can look back at conversations they had with Jessica, and Jessica can keep track. And for us, scientists, it gives really valuable data to keep improving this approach. So just 3 steps: Bob, Jessica, online system. And the beauty of this approach is its flexibility. It works here in Maastricht and in cities all across the Netherlands, and we're confident that it can work in Berlin and Bangkok too. And our research showed that already after 1 year, children like Emily are healthier, have a better quality of life, higher self-esteem, and reduced risk of chronic diseases. So children like Emily, they hold the key because they show us and everybody in the network how to truly support healthy living. Not just for her, but for all the children. But let's zoom out. You've probably heard somebody say, yeah, but it's just the parents' fault. And who's going to pay for this all? But let's think about it. You've learned how to be safe in traffic and to swim at school, didn't you? And we all think this is perfectly normal. And if we would have tigers roaming our Dutch jungles, we would teach children to fight them off or hide too, wouldn't we? But what about teaching our kids to survive this modern jungle, filled with hamburgers, donuts, and endless screen time? If we really want to keep our children safe, we have to teach them how to fight these predators too, and not leave them walk alone in this jungle. And there, you hold the key too. By welcoming her voice, cheering her on, and support her at school and at sports, or just being her friend. Because we adults cannot do that. You hold that unique superpower. So this is not just about preventing obesity and chronic diseases. This is about preparing our kids to navigate a complex world and let them be the guide in changing it. Because every healthy choice we support today brings us a step closer to the life and the dreams you all deserve. Thank you.